I acknowledge that I will try and break new ground by saying some of these things. It doesn't do me any favours, and I get my head above the parapet and I get shot down. But it does make it easier for others to come in afterwards and say things in a similar way.
Pioneer, are you?
Well, I wouldn't say that myself. That's your word, but I mean, and if that's my role,
Yeah.
I will keep fulfilling that role, because I think these debates are really important to have. And, if we can start these conversations and then thereafter change policy and direction in our party and therefore our country, then I think that's an important role to be had.
Have you given up on ever leading the party again?
I'm really talking. No one's listening, are they? No, I won't put myself forward again. I'm very happy. I've had a go, and I am here to support. I'm passionate about a conservative revival, and you're right. I do come to politics with a bit of heart and soul. It gets me into trouble sometimes, I admit, but I'm trying to speak in an authentic voice that people understand.
And they respond to that. I've seen it in the Tory Party Congress when you speak to them. They love it. They love it.
And I love speaking like that, and I want to, and I do it because I have a deep and profound love of my country and the British people.
But so you won't ever stand again for Tory leadership. Is that because you get one chance really at that? I mean, look at Jeremy Hunt. He's had, I think, 2 or 3 goes, but with declining returns.
Listen, I very much hope the leader we choose stays in post for a very long time. We do tend to chop and change, and I think we've done that with too much frequency in recent years, which is one of the reasons the electorate got fed up with us. Let's have some stability. Let's allow someone to bed in and let their agenda
And work out what it is.
And let's give it a good go. But no, that will be it for me, I think.
And what's next for you? There's talk about reform. Would you ever join reform?
I'm not going to defect to reform, no. And I hope I'm not driven out to reform by my colleagues. Listen, I look at Lee Anderson. Lee Anderson is a good friend of mine, and it's a tragedy that we lost him to reform. He's someone who speaks with an authentic voice that resonates with a lot of people in Britain. And, he's someone who is very brave, incredibly dedicated, and that we lost him, that our Conservative Party could not be the broad church. We talk about our broad church, but we weren't broad enough for Lee Anderson. Lee Anderson should be sitting as a Conservative Member of Parliament. In fact, we should have more Conservative Members of Parliament, because reform should not have been the force that it was. And many of our MPs lost because of reform. So we talk about a broad church. We should not be handing out Conservatives, right-wingers, Eurosceptics, people who want to stand up for our flag and our faith, and as if they are somehow swivel-eyed loons, which is the term that David Cameron, I think, used many years ago. Allegedly. Fair enough, allegedly. Lee Anderson should be a Conservative MP.
Just looking forward to the 2029 election, how many MPs do you think reform could end up with if the Tory party doesn't change course?
I am absolutely confident that reform can do better.
Dozens of MPs?
It's very hard to put a number on it, but they came second in many places. That's
90 or so.
Right, that's a high number of seats where they came second. That should alarm the Conservatives. They came second in a lot of Labour-held seats now, so that they are eating into the Labour vote. They took more of the under 30 vote than we did. So for young